Yo, what's going on, guys? And we're seeing right now that, yes, okay, Daniel Gafford is drawing trade interest, which is definitely surprising because I think a lot of people were not expecting that he would. I want to hear your thoughts right now. What do you guys think of that and why? Who's going to trade for him? He's got a great deal, $11 million a year. And this is what we've talked about before, is that, like, if I was a team that had, okay, like, for example, if I was the Dallas Mavericks and I strike out on getting whoever I wanted, like right now we're hearing they want Bruce Brown. If I'm a team like the Dallas Mavericks, I would backup plan. If I don't get the guy I want, I'll trade Rashawn Holmes in a pick for Daniel Gafford. The guy's on a cheap deal. So what we're specifically hearing is that the Athletic is reporting, as expected, the Wizards are well and truly out of the playoff picture and firmly in the midst of a rebuild. Now, with that being said, that means basically everybody is up for grabs in one way or another. And Daniel Gafford is a guy that is a popular name that people are inquiring about. And Daniel Gafford is making like $12 million a year on average. And he's averaging 10.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, just under 2 assists, and 69% from the field. He's on a $40 million contract over 4 years. He's paid like $10 million a year. And he's a guy that makes sense that he's drawing trade interest, as we know that he is someone that, I don't know, I feel like a lot of teams could use. You're looking at, I don't know if the Suns have the salary to trade for him, but I mean, dude, Miami would love him. Again, there's the teams that really could use him don't necessarily have the salary to trade for him. So that does kind of bring up a hiccup. But, NBA centers, and I think if you look, New Orleans was trying to move on from Jonas Valanciunas. So that's a guy that they could maybe convince, here's Jonas, send us Daniel Gafford, and we'll maybe put a pick with Jonas. That could be something that get the Wizards going. Jusuf Nurkic has been surprisingly solid. You look around, it gets a little bit tougher at that point. But the idea that, okay, going into here, could a team that has, the Grizzlies trade Steven Adams' contract with a pick? I think that's another example. Kevon Looney, Wendell. The Wizards would want Wendell Carter. I don't know why the Magic would trade, but that's where you start to look around. You're like, okay, there's feasible places where this nation's, unless you got, like I said, Jonas Valanciunas. And the thing is like a lot of the guys that it might be a slight downgrade, but you're going for like cheapness at that point. And that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What would you guys do if you were the Washington Wizards? And what is Daniel Gafford's value? I think that's the biggest question right here. So hit that like and comment. Bye-bye. Bye. So the New York Knicks are showing interest in Daniel Gafford per Jake L. Fisher. There are guys on the market right now like Daniel Gafford, with Mitchell Robinson being injured, who's definitely a dialogue. And if you're the Knicks, you know that this is a cheap deal. That Daniel Gafford, he's a starting center, but he would be probably the best backup center in the NBA if they were to make him a backup. He's just like an average, maybe an above average starting center. He makes 12.4, which is a little hard to swallow. But the idea is that they do have that deal of Evan Fournier under roster. So Evan Fournier, the thing is they probably want to get another player that they can. Evan Fournier can be under contract for another year, but they definitely want to have be able to continue to have flexible salary. So a deal of Evan Fournier for maybe DeLon Wright and Daniel Gafford, I wouldn't be surprised if, or another deal, I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Gafford and maybe a Danilo Gallinari for Evan Fournier, and if they throw in just like Malachi Flynn as a salary filler or something like that, would help. Because then if Mitchell Robinson does not come back by the end of the season, or if he does and he's bad, you now have this cool rotation of Isaiah Hartenstein, Jericho Sims, and Daniel Gafford, or Daniel Gafford and Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. And the thing is with Daniel Gafford this season, he's a guy who's averaging in 26 minutes, 10.5 points, 7.7 rebounds, and just under 2 assists. Last year, he averaged 9 points, back-to-back years in 22 to 23 and 21 to 22. He averaged 9 points, playing 20 minutes a night, and 6 rebounds and a block a game. He's averaging 2 blocks a game this year. He's a career 70% field goal shooter. And what you're getting with Daniel Gafford is a high-energy, athletic big man who's a great rebounder and shot blocker, super efficient shooter. He's only going to shoot 5 feet within the basket, pick and roll big, who's great at finishing above the rim. Besides dunks, like Mitchell Robinson, not much of a scorer. He's not comfortable dribbling or shooting the basketball, and the ball can get stuck in his hand when he catches it. But I think he'd be a good guy for them, very similar to Mitchell Robinson.